Video.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar, Social Entrepreneur Summit. We're really excited to be here. I'm going to go live in just one moment and start the video. Hopefully you can hear us. We're using my laptop without a mic, so hopefully everyone can hear us. If you can hear us, can you just put your hands up? I just want to make sure you can actually hear the audio. You'll find there's a little button at the top of your panel where you can just raise your hand to say yes, you can hear the audio. So if you can just do that for us, that would be great. You can see we've got quite a few people on. So yeah, thanks very much. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for putting your hand up. So hopefully Peter can hear, so that's great. So as I said, we are live in Vegas right now. I'm going to start the video in just one moment and introduce you to the man of the hour. But this webinar is all really about what is the Social Entrepreneur Summit that we're doing next month in October, which is a very new event to the UK. In fact, it's the first time it's been held in the UK. And we're really, really excited that it's coming over. But because it's brand new, a lot of people have got questions about it. So what we're aiming to do in the next 50 minutes or so is tell you about what it is, answer any questions you've got, and hopefully get you excited enough to want to come and obviously attend the event. So let's get some video started. So just get this video up and running. So hopefully you can see us. We're just in the screen. Hi everyone. So hopefully you can see us there. So as I said, we're live in Vegas, and I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine who I've come to know over the last few months. Who's really doing some outstanding stuff in Vegas and in the US. And man sitting next to me, Peter Anthony. Hi, Peter.
Hey,
how are you doing?
I'm awesome, man.
Yeah,
thank you,
cool.
Matthew. Yeah, we're killing it out here in the US, and we what we're doing is it's called the Social Entrepreneur Summit, but the essence of it is personal branding, and it's how to really understand the power of your personal brand, how to turn your personal brand into a mentorship opportunity where you can really develop what you're doing, how you're doing it, and with whom you're doing it, digitally, globally, and then drive those people to events and to your coaching, etc. So it's really amazing for authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, celebrities. It's a fantastic vehicle, and all of us, quite frankly, need digital branding. We all need to really polish our personal brands.
Well, why do you think it's so important in today's age?
With 9 out of 10 people Googling you before they actually see you or meet you or decide to do business with you, your personal brand is everything. And what you want to be is not just being able to be seen, but being able to be seen as the quintessential, undeniable expert in your field. That's the key to your success. It's the key to your long-term success. And in order to do that, you have to start to teach what it is you do. When you get to coach others, you become the expert. You become articulate at what you're sharing and how you're sharing it and why you're sharing it and how it will matter and make sense to them. That's really why people do things. They want it to be good for them. They want to see what they're going to get out of it. So what we teach you to do is really look at your brand, tighten up your message, put you in a position where you can share that message, whether it's an online course or book, speaking opportunities, and then integrating all of that with your social media and really powerful platforms that are going to make a huge difference in anything that you're doing. But they certainly will make a difference for those people who are ready to take action and turn themselves into a global brand rather than just being good at what they do locally. And that's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
So, obviously, you've been doing this a long time in the US. You're very well known. Just for as a flavour for the guys in the UK, why should they listen to you? What experience have you got in this? What have you done for people? Where have you come from?
And that's a great question. You know, to share with everybody, I've been actually designing video educational courses for 3 decades. I've done it for about 3 or 4 major manufacturers. In the U.S., we say that, you know, the Fortune 50, for Procter & Gamble, AT&T, you know, we've done some big companies where we've designed their educational platforms to make sure that people are falling within what I call the 3 foundational cores of designing any message, but specifically with an online course. We need to make things simple, fun, and memorable. I'm going to say it again. It's got to be simple, it's got to be fun, and it needs to be memorable. If you hit simple and then it's fun, naturally people move to memorable. And we have to understand as well that video is a different medium. So we're recording this as a webinar. This isn't how I would actually record a course. A course needs to be interactive. It needs to be engaging. It needs to make sure that it grabs your attention and anchors the message. Again, you want to grab their attention and anchor the message so that they have confidence moving forward and sharing your message. And if what you're doing isn't creating confidence in people, if they're not excited to share the message because they don't completely understand the message, it's never going to move forward. So what we do, again, it's got to be simple, it should be fun, and it must be memorable. So that's really important. And we are the premier experts in the world at making sure we place the right amount of simplicity, the right amount of fun to create the greatest opportunity for memorable. And we've been doing it for decades, mate.
Awesome. So one of the questions I've got is that obviously you can go online, you can go onto Google and you can type in, say, you know, how do I become great at, say, speaking? And there'll be a ton of results that come up. And you can go onto various platforms and pay for education. Well, what's the difference between, say, the courses that You Will Change the World is developing versus the rest of them? Because obviously, you know, you can go and find courses anywhere. What makes them really stand out, I guess, and make people want to jump on them and take them?
Well, what makes a Mercedes stand out from a Chevy?
Branding.
You know, not just branding, but it's the way, it's the commitment to the design. It's the commitment to the client's experience. It's the commitment to the instructor's experience. You see, at You Will Change the World, we're not only just a platform, we're actually a culture. Today, we're hosting about 25 instructors in the next room. You might hear a little music in the background. We've got the best of the best people from around the world who want to share their mentorship and their expertise on the You Will Change the World platform because they know we vet people. So when you're on maybe one of my competitors, Udemy, right? They see themselves as a competitor. We don't see Udemy as a competitor because we would never allow an instructor to sell a $5 class. There's actually no reason to dilute your value. You see, what we want to do is we want to increase your value. We want to increase the value by really solidifying the experience and understanding the culture. And those are the key elements of what we do that make us different. We are the Mercedes-Benz of online courses. And that's why our clients love to use us, and that's why our instructors love to be on our platform. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome, cool. So what I'm thinking is perhaps we can do a live example on the webinar. So all you guys.
What do you mean live example? So, you didn't tell me about that.
Yeah.
Live example?
Yeah, I don't know
if I could do a live example.
Of course you can. So everyone that's on the webinar right now, you'll see there's a little Q&A button at the top. What would be really awesome is if you could just perhaps put in that Q&A box what it is that you do in terms of, and this can be what you do in property or what you do as a business, but what
so how would somebody who is in property
precisely
create an online course?
I just want to kind of see who's on the call and just some of their expertise. So if you go to the Q&A button, click it open, and what I just want you to put in there is, okay, what is it that you think that you may have some expertise in that perhaps you want to share with more people? So if you just go and tap that in the box, and then what we'll do is get Peter, Anthony, just to have a look at how could we take that?
Yeah, and what I'll share with you is this. Solidifying yourself as the expert, it's not about just sharing, it's about making sure that people understand that you have the answer. You know, what made Robert Kiyosaki or Tony Robbins or, you know, Mark Victor Hansen, what makes them extraordinary is that people believe these guys have the answer. They believe these guys have the answers simply because their products are so prolific. They're everywhere. So in order for people to start to work with you, they want to see that you're an expert. The easiest way to see that you're an expert is to look at your online course, your speaker one sheet, your books, your audios, and where your live events are taking place. And then at that point, they want to see, have people gone through your course, and are they actually satisfied with the experience? So when you can do that, then that's extraordinary. The only way to do that is through an online course.
Okay, so let's take someone as an example. So Jane, for instance, has put on that she's an IT consultant. She specializes in helping businesses basically integrate different platforms. So
okay,
what
cool.
would she do in terms of creating an online course around that?
Awesome. So we wouldn't say IT is one of those things that's diluting, right? So every 2 years, it's going to be antiquated. So what we want her to do is position herself as the technology expert. And these are one of the technologies Jane's currently using under IT.
Okay.
And by being the technology expert, people will be looking to Jane for the new answers as they come about, versus answers to questions that are antiquated.
Right, okay.
So you always want to position yourself as the expert, the industry expert, the expert that the industry comes to, because then that's how you're going to get radio interviews, news interviews, articles. These are the things that are going to start to develop and push your brand forward. But you see, if Jane comes out and just starts talking about what she's done in IT, what she's done is over. What is she going to do in telecommunications or in technology? That's what people would be interested in. People would be interested in how I've done what I've done is important, but where I'm going and where you can go as well if you do these things. What did I look for when I started is the same things I might be looking for today, or what I'm looking for today is no longer that. We want to hear the experience, and we want to hear the intellect behind the choice. This is what's key. Does that make sense to you guys? Shake your heads. Yes, it does. I get it.
Put your hands up. Put your hand up if that makes sense.
You just shake your heads. Shake your head. Shake it. Shake it. Yes.
I'll just nod.
So cool.
This summit we put together, you'll see there's a whole bunch of different speakers that we've invited to come to the event. And they're all experts in their own field, and they've all built up a lot of credibility over time. In fact, we've got one guy who just last week his quote of the day was in the London Underground, in one of the busiest stations. We've got another person that's come in that was a former Dragon's Den. We've got all these great people that come in that are experts, and they come in to help people understand the importance of brand. And I think one of the questions that is often asked and not necessarily always understood is how important brand is. I mean, what would you say to that in terms of?
Well, your brand is you. You are your brand. If you're excellent at something, the world needs to know. If you have a weakness at something, then what you want to do is make sure that your strengths are what you're leading with, not your weaknesses. When you don't control or position your brand, then generally what happens is more people will understand your weaknesses than your strengths. And that's not where you want to be. You can't grow globally. The world today is changing. We all know it. It's becoming automated. It's becoming more AI. There's not as many people making cars. There's not as many people making clothes. The hydroponics is changing the way farming is done. Jobs are dissipating. As jobs dissipate, more people will come into the workforce and as an entrepreneur than ever before. There'll be solopreneurs. And within that, how do you separate yourself from the other 1,000 property developers? How do you separate yourself from the other 10,000 web developers? How do you separate yourself is the question. And your brand is what separates you. Having a strong message, being clear on that message, making sure it's simple, it's fun, and it's memorable. Simple, fun, memorable. Simple, fun, memorable. This is what you want. You want to make sure that you're top of mind. When people think about that, they think about you. And that's the importance of branding. And most people, they let it go. They say, oh yeah, I've got a couple of articles on, I've made a couple of blogs on LinkedIn. So, everybody knows I'm an expert because I put my bio on LinkedIn. which has all of my past credentials. It doesn't talk about the future. It doesn't talk about what you're doing for clients. We're going to have Jimena Cortez coming out to the UK. She's one of the #1 LinkedIn profilers on the planet. We use her personally. She's getting us 20 to 30 leads a day qualified because she understands the system and she understands how to make your brand top of mind. And these are the keys. We're bringing in really amazing speakers that are completely focused. Andy Harrington, love this guy, man. He's going to share with you some of the speaker secrets that make a huge difference in how you're presenting your brand. We make sure that it looks polished. You know, we're offering an instant credibility package where you get to actually sit down with Rachel and talk about your product. And she was on the Dragon's Den as an investor. Basically, she's edifying your product for a few £1,000s. This makes no sense, but it makes all the sense in the world. If you want your brand to be extraordinary, then you must take extraordinary action to solidify it. And if you don't take extraordinary action, I'm going to tell you what your brand's going to be. It's going to continue to be ordinary. And the more ordinary your brand is, the larger the pool of people competing in the brand. I guarantee you, you will start to move down instead of up. Because staying the same is just like moving down. If your business isn't growing, it's dying. If your brand isn't expanding, it's dying because someone else is going to take the momentum from you. So you have to do everything you can in order to secure your place in the history of what you do. Be the top person they think of when they think of what you do. If you're in IT, you need to be #1, not just your area, regionally, and then think nationally, and then think globally. How do you secure it? If you're in property, if you're an author, a leader, if you're a personal development coach, you need to be #1. You need to be top of mind. And it says, and we position you with people who already are #1. So by default, you're sharing a stage with winners. Not just anybody who wants to play. We have a vetting system. We polish your brand to its best potential, and then we take you to the next level. We're super, super excited.
Awesome. So what I'd like to just invite people to do is anyone that's got any questions, because we've only got Peter for a limited amount of time.
I got to talk to my personal assistant. 1 second.
In a live event. What questions you may have about the Social Entrepreneur Summit. I've basically been here in Vegas for the last couple of days, looking at what's been going on, being in the room, and I have to say it's surpassed my expectations in terms of what these guys are doing. I'd obviously already seen some of the online courses Peter and his team have been doing, which are amazing, but to go to the live event itself is a completely different experience.
We're going to change your lives. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I'm grabbing Matthew's tiny right now. It's just some good-looking uncle, British man.
Any questions you guys have got in terms of specifics you want to ask, questions you want to ask? Peter's with us for another 5 minutes, and he's got to dash off and get back into the live event. I'd be obviously happy to answer them. I mean, I've got loads of questions I can obviously ask Peter. But
ask me another question.
I'm keen to get yours as well. So just for the guys.
I don't want to answer their questions. Well, I want to answer them live. Why do I want to answer them here? Don't ask me any questions. I'm not going to answer them.
He is.
I won't. I
click
promise.
on the Q&A button. Any questions, please ask them. And whilst that's happening, I'll ask a few more questions. So one of the things that I found over the last couple of days in terms of the room, the people in the room, there's tons of different people that I met, is people coming from all different walks of life.
It's amazing. I mean, we have the #1 people in their areas understanding if they want to stay #1, they need to build an online course.
But the thing that I also found was really exciting is that we have people coming from all different parts of the US, and some from overseas, Canada as well. But this isn't necessarily just about becoming the #1 globally. It's also about becoming the #1 in your marketplace. So let's say that you're in Southampton, or you're in London, or you're in, say, Nottingham, or wherever it may be. You can actually brand yourself in a way that so you come into the top 5 in your marketplace. And this is part of our 5-stage blueprint that we've been working with our clients with for many, many years. What Peter's doing is really trying to amplify that from the point of view of video, online branding. So my question to Peter, when he's finished having a chat with his PA, my question to Peter is this, can someone that's, say, in a certain local area, so we've talked about places like Southampton and Nottingham or Northampton or London or wherever, can someone take this information and start to really brand themselves locally so that they're the go-to guy or girl for whatever it is that they're doing?
If you brand yourself as the expert locally, well, here's the interesting part. If you brand yourself as the expert regionally, nationally, and globally, what do you by default become? The expert locally.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bigger you choose to build your brand and the reach of your brand, the better you will do in your local market, bar none. Everybody wants to do business with the best in the world. When we were building my salon chain, people would say, Peter Anthony, why should I pay $500 for a haircut with you? I said, I'm the best in the world. Really? And we started having the awards to start to back up the statements, because we started to acquire the best clientele. By acquiring the best clientele, we started to increase our revenues. By increasing our revenues, we got better training. By getting better training, we increased our revenues by increasing our prices and expanding our breadth through marketing. If you want to be the best in the world, then start telling people you want to be the best in the world by helping them become the best in the world, by becoming a mentor. When you become a mentor, you attract more people to you. When I started working in the fashion industry, I was asked to be the educational director of a company at 23 years old and design all their educational processes. I said, wow, how am I going to do this? And I said, okay, if you want to be the best, here's what the best people do in every aspect of life. And then I started sharing secrets with them. By sharing secrets with them, they started asking me questions. By them asking me questions, I started to understand what it was they were looking for. By understanding what they were looking for, I was able to come up with new solutions that were pertinent to them. Therefore, I positioned myself as the best because I had the most current solutions. Every time somebody asked me a question and was engaged in the conversation, I started to acquire better answers. Therefore, I became better. Through teaching, you become better. Continuous teaching forces you to become the best in your craft. Period. End of conversation. Anybody who's not doing it is not going to get better. The only way for them to get better is to go to a seminar and watch somebody else. So what we really want to do is take them to the next level. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes. Cool. Everybody put your hands up. It's pretty awesome, man. We're stuffed.
Sweet. So, final question. I'll let you get back to your clients that are in the other room, the instructors who are learning loads of great stuff. So, there's obviously tons of different events people can come to. I'm really excited about this event. I've seen what you've been doing over here in the States. What do you say is the one or two reasons why people should come to the Social Entrepreneur Summit?
Well, there's two big reasons. One is you need to know what we're doing right now so you can either do it or be prepared for it when your competitor starts to do it. That's the biggest reason, because somebody's going to take action on what we're sharing. We're signing up right now 25 instructors a month, top tier. We just made some deals with some really big organizations. We have very, very well-known global people coming into our brand. People are going to want to be positioned, but we don't, our genres will never have 10,000 people in a genre teaching real estate. We're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 of the best people in that market teaching real estate max, because we're vetting. So you have to be, there are not unlimited positions. There are limited positions in the thought process. If you want to be the best, then you need to at least show up and see what we're doing. If you don't agree with it, hey man, I completely get that. But at the end of the day, I promise you, you show up, we will deliver. We will deliver a complete understanding of how to position yourself for this next wave. And what we we believe will be a global recession. And I feel that you have a fiduciary responsibility to your clients in order to make sure that they're getting taken care of, that you've forced yourself to grow exponentially. And until you do that, you know, you're just going to be average. And I don't think anybody wants to be average. I don't think we set out in life and say, yeah, man, I just hope when I grow up, I'm average. I think we want to be extraordinary. And in order to do that, challenge yourself, learn something new. If you don't know anything about what we're doing, then you should be there. If you already know what they're going to do at a seminar, that's the one you shouldn't even bother to go to, because you already know, then just do it. But you don't know what we're doing, so you need to get here. I can't even make it any clearer. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Great, get here. Make sure this happens for you. And you know what? If you love somebody, bring them with you. If you have an administrator, bring them with you. Because once you start taking action, you're going to need to engage your entire team. You're going to want them to start being part of this new journey, because you're going to be inspired. You're going to want to take action. So you must bring your team. That's what I say. You know, I brought my executive assistant, Christina. She comes to every event with me, because if I learn something, I'm taking action immediately. So that's our suggestion. And I'm going to piss Matthew off. I'm going to say, if you're going to register, you know what? We'll give you an extra ticket for your admin. I'm just going to give you the ticket. Just bring them. Because if you do take action, you're going to want to get them involved. So you're going to want them to start to collect the things that they need to collect to make sure that they're polishing your brand. It's the best thing you could do. So you know what? I don't care. I'll pay for them. I'll figure it out. Bring your admins. Make sure. If you have a business partner, bring your business partner and their admins. If your wife is the gatekeeper, well, bring her too. Because we're going to make sure she's going to make you do it. Or if your husband's the gatekeeper, he's going to make you do it. Because once they understand what we're doing, they're going to blow up and they're going to be your greatest advocate. So I'm looking forward to it. Hey, man, it was great spending some time with you guys. I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person. We're going to rock it out. But I do have to get back into the seminar that I am teaching today, because these guys paid $7,000 for the ticket, so they're definitely going to want some more Peter Anthony time, and I'm happy to share it with them. So thank you. Namaste. I cannot wait to see you guys. We're looking forward to the UK. I don't know if you guys know, I lived in Ealing for 2 years. I worked with my best friends who own a company called Business Mobiles. They rock it out. So we are really excited to come back to the UK, which I've always and always will consider London one of my homes. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys in October. Peace.
Thanks, Peter. So some great stuff there from Peter, and he's obviously got to come back into the webinar, sorry, into the seminar now. So just want to finish off by answering any questions that people may have about the Social Entrepreneur Summit. And also I wanted to tell you about a special promo code that you can use. Now, I think a lot of the people on the webinar, I've seen a few people whose names are recognized, but I'm not sure if everyone has actually booked yet. So if you've not booked yet, early bird tickets did end yesterday, but I've created a special coupon code just for people on the webinar where you can get hold of a ticket at the same price as the early bird ticket. So to go and get hold of one of these tickets, and as Peter said, he's allowing you to bring someone else entirely free of charge as well. So if you do book a ticket today, just email in to us at the office and say, hey, and let us know who the other person is that you're bringing with you. So the seminar is taking place from October the 15th through to the 16th. That's Saturday and Sunday in Holborn bars. And then on the 17th there's an extra bonus day, and the extra bonus day is literally what Peter is doing today, except he's going to give it as an additional value, slightly different content, but all about building online courses. So to grab one of those tickets, general tickets are £67. You need to go to socialentrepreneurssummit.co.uk and put in this promo code when it asks you for a coupon, which is SES 2016. Now, I don't believe it is case sensitive. I think you can put it in either way, but try the uppercase first. If that doesn't work, just try it in lowercase. But that coupon code is up and running and working right now. And we'd love to see you all at the Social Entrepreneur Summit, where Peter and his team, and obviously the other experts that we're bringing in are going to be talking to you about a whole bunch of different topics. And just to quickly go through who the speakers are, we've got Rachel Elno, former Dragon's Den and founder of Red Letter Days. We're going to be talking about prosperity and how to really manifest that. So a little bit about mindset. Jonathan Fowle from the Rockstar Group is going to tell you about how you can build a business in order to sell it and get investors into your business. Andy Houghton is going to be talking about how to use speaking to catapult your business to a high level. I'm going to be really talking about the 5-stage blueprint that we use and how to build your business to 6 and 7 figures. We've got Davin Michaels from 123 Employee, who's the largest outsourced he runs the largest company of outsourcers in the world, based out of the Philippines. He's going to be talking about how you can basically work from a laptop wherever you want in the world. I've got Samantha Kelly talking about Twitter, and my good friend Beju as well, who's going to be talking about using social media and authenticity. Beju was the guy who was in the London Tube the other day using one of his quotes. So as I said, it'd be great to see everybody there. Please do go ahead and book your ticket. We're going to hold this coupon code open for 24 hours and then it's going to disappear. So the coupon code to put in again is SES 2016. I can't see any specific questions that have come through for me. So I'll just give it another 30 seconds and then we'll wrap everything up. But yeah, we're really excited in terms of me and the team bringing Peter over. The event we've just been to this weekend has been really, really fantastic. And we've learned loads of new stuff. And I'm sure you guys will as well. So if you're at all interested in building a brand for the next 25, 30, 40 years, however long it is that you're going to be in business, do come along to this event. It's the first time in the UK, so it is new. You know, we have no testimonials from UK people saying how great it is. But if you go on the webpage, you find tons of testimonials from our American friends, you know, really talking about how great this is. And it'd be awesome to see you there. So thanks very much, everyone, for coming on this very quick webinar. I hope you have a great Monday evening, and I'll speak to you very shortly. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.